1 day, 2 days, 3 days, or even a month, and they had legitimate reason. فَمَنْ كَانَ مِنْكُمْ مَرِيدًا أَوْ عَلَىٰ سَفَرٍ فَعِدَّةٌ مِنْ أَيَّامٍ أُخَرَ. Those who are sick on a journey, just make it up. And when you get a chance, when Ramadan is over, make up the days that you missed. Now, what are we looking for? What did we accomplish? Alhamdulillah, the Prophet, peace and blessing be upon him, he told us, من صام رمضان إيمانا واحتسابا غفر له ما تقدم من ذنبه. Whoever fasts in the month of Ramadan, seeking a reward from Allah with faith, Allah forgive them their sins. May Allah the Almighty forgive every one of you, every sin that you've ever committed. May Allah forgive you.
Ameen. Allahu Ameen.
I want to remind you what to look for. قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم للصائم فرحتان. Those who fasted will have two rewards. I traveled in and out of the country during Ramadan, East Coast, West Coast, and I can be honest with you, I had a legitimate excuse not to fast because I was traveling. I traveled from Washington, D.C. to Phoenix, Arizona, and that meant that I had to fast another 3 hours. But I fasted. Why did I fast? Because I didn't want to make it up. I wanted to do it now. But could you imagine when I broke my fast how I felt? Phoenix, Arizona, 122 degrees. So when I broke my fast, I was happy. I remember going around the country, seeing the people break their fast, the smiles on their faces. So that's one thing. وَإِذَا لَقِيَ رَبُّهُ فَرِحَ بِصَوْمِهِ. And now this is the real one. And when they meet their Lord on Yom Al-Qiyamah, you meet Allah, you're going to be so happy for the fast that you did, you can't even imagine. According to the Prophet, peace and blessing be upon him, every day that a person fasts, Allah keeps them a distance from the hellfire, a distance of 70-year travel. All the years that you fasted in the month of Ramadan, for Allah the Almighty, you get this big reward. A man came to the Prophet, peace and blessing be upon him, and he wanted to know about Islam. And the Prophet, he taught him, Khamsa salawat, 5 prayers a day, every day. And the man said, Hal alayya ghayruhunna? Is there anything more than that? Qala la illa an tatawwa. No, except what is extra. I watched you, masjid to masjid, packed during the month of Ramadan. After Isha prayer, Salatul Tarawih, Salatul Tahajjud, Qiyamul Layl. Did you have to do it? No. And so the Prophet said it's extra, yet everybody in the masjid praying. More than the 5 prayers a day? No, except what is extra. But what happened if you pray Salatul Tarawih, Tahajjud, Qiyamul Layl? Allah will forgive us our sins.
Amen.
Finally, there is a gate in heaven. Heaven has 8 gates. One of them called Babul Rayyan. It is that gate for those who fasted.
Allahu Akbar.
And this gate, nobody will be able to go through that gate except the one who fasted.
Allahu Akbar.
And once they go through that gate, then the gate is closed and nobody else will go through. You ought to be happy. Are you happy today?
Yes, Allahu Akbar.
Happy that you fasted for Allah the Almighty?
Allahu Akbar, yes.
Good. What you have done is Step one. You've only done step one. Now you got to do step two. What you mean step two? Aren't we finished? No.
Started.
The book ain't closed yet. That was the good news. Now I give you the warning. Are you ready for a warning?
Yes.
Somebody give me some water, inshallah. Are you ready for the warning?
You have some water? Anybody has a bottle?
The Prophet, peace and blessing be upon him, said,
Anybody has a bottle of water?
Wallahi alladhi la ilaha ghayruhu inna ahadakum la ya'lamu bi'amali ahlin jannah. I swear by Allah, who there's no God but him, one of you will do the work of the people of Jannah. This siyam, this fast is the work of the people of Jannah. Good. You did good. You fasted good. But now you got to close it out. What you mean close it out? Brothers and sisters, do you know that every once in a while in the hereafter, the people in Jannah, the people in paradise will be able to see the people in hell, and the people in hell will be able to see the people in paradise? I give you one or two examples. وسلككم وقالوا ما سلككم في السقر. How did you end up in the hellfire? The people in Jannah want to ask the people in hell, what are you doing there? قالوا لم نكن من المصلين. We didn't make salah. That's it. ولم نكن نطعم المسكين. And we didn't feed the poor. Okay. But I want to paint a picture. The next time you get a chance, I want you to look in Muslim Hadith, Kitabu Iman, the book of faith. And the people in Jannah will see some people in hellfire. And when they see the people in hellfire, they will say this to Allah. ربنا إخواننا كانوا يصومون معنا ويصلون معنا وتحجون معنا. Now, just think about this for a moment. The people in Jannah will see the people in hellfire and they say, our Lord, our brothers, they used to fast with us, they used to pray with us, they used to make pilgrimage with us. Now you ought to ask yourself the question, how are you going to wind up in the hellfire and you used to fast in Ramadan? You used to make prayer 5 times a day. You used to make pilgrimage. What you doing in the hellfire? And I want you to listen to Allah's answer to them. I'm expecting Allah to say, you don't know these people. You don't know what they did. But you know what he'll say? أخرجوا من عرفتم. Take out of the hellfire all those you recognize. But begs the question, how did they get there? And this is the warning to you. Thank you. How did I get there? I pray to Allah that every one of you go to Jannah.
Ameen.
Every one of you.
Ameen.
That Allah forgive your sins.
Ameen.
The good news is that good deeds wipe out bad deeds. The Prophet said to Abu Dharr radiallahu anhu and Mu'adh ibn Jabal, Ittaqi Allah haythuma kunta. Fear Allah wherever you are. That means fear Allah in Ramadan. You did good. You were thinking about Allah in Ramadan, you did good. But what about Shawwal? What about the rest of the year? How will you be? I'm asking the question today, how did they wind up in the hellfire? It's not good enough to fast. Now you have to protect your fast. Now you have to close out the deal. And the deal is closed out. The Prophet, peace and blessing be upon him, said, إِنَّمَا الْأَحْمَلُ بِالْخَوَاتِيمِ. Your deeds shall be judged by your last deeds. So the good news is that good deeds wipe out bad deeds, but the other thing, the bad news is that bad deeds wipe out good deeds.
Ya Allah, inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un.
Bad deeds wipe out good deeds. And I want to give you the evidence, and then I'm going to finish with where do we go from here. The Prophet, peace and blessing be upon him, was a masterful teacher. He would always teach people based upon what they know, and then he teach them what they don't know. For instance, he said, "Min al-muflis," who are the bankrupt people? They said, a bankrupt person, la dorham laha wa man mata'. They don't have no money, they have nothing. But the Prophet, peace and blessing be upon him, said, the muflis, the bankrupt person, fi ummati, in my ummah, listen carefully, are those who will come to Allah on the day of judgment with salat, they made their prayer, with siyam, they fasted in Ramadan, and with zakat, they paid their zakat. But listen to what he said. وَشَتَمَ هَذَا وَقَذَفَ هَذَا وَأَكَلَ مَالَ هَذَا وَسَفَكَ دَمَ هَذَا وَضَرَبَ هَذَا. But they shatama هذا, to abuse or curse in a verbal way. I remember when I was a young boy going to school and people used to taunt me, said bad things to me, and I would go home to my mother crying. And she said, like so many mothers say, she said, tell them sticks and stones may break my bones, but words can never hurt me. That sounds nice, but the fact is words can hurt you. Even Allah warned us in Quran, the word shatama is similar to sabba. Do not revile or curse those whom they call upon other than Allah, so that they will curse Allah. Shatama hadha wa qadhafa hadha. Be careful. They slander the person. Things come out of our mouths so readily. We slander people. Akala mala hadha, and they stole the money of someone. Thou shalt not steal. وَسَفَكَ هَذَا, they shed the blood of someone. Thou shalt not kill. وَضَرَبَ هَذَا, and they beat that person. That person whom they slandered, they beat, he stole from. Allah will take their good deeds, their hasanah, standing at night, Laylatul Qadr, seeking Allah, will take that from them and give it to the one that they hurt. And if they run out of good deeds, Allah will take the bad deeds of those whom they slandered and put it in them and throw them in the hellfire. May Allah we seek refuge from that happening to us.
Ameen.
May Allah bless us not only to fast, but also to see the fruits of our fast on Yawm al-Qiyamah.
Ameen.
And finally, our Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam was ordered by Allah to build the Kaaba. In the desert, ain't nobody around. And so he builds the Kaaba, Masjid al-Haram, with his son Ismail. Thousands of years ago. Now the very house that he built has been expanded. Right now, the Masjid al-Haram is being expanded. It should be completed in 2020, and by the finish of the expansion, it will be able to accommodate
10 million.
3 million worshippers. The house that Abraham built. Khalilullah, the friend of Allah. Even though Allah ordered him to do it, we ought to do what Abraham did. ربنا تقبل منا ربنا تقبل منا ربنا تقبل منا. Oh Allah, accept it. We did fast. Oh Allah, please accept it.
Ameen.
We did stand up in Laylatul Qadr. Oh Allah, please stand it.
Ameen.
Please accept it.
Ameen.
Oh Allah, we stood up. Salatul Tahajjud. Salatul Tarawih. Oh Allah, please accept it. Oh Allah, we gave Zakatul Fitr. Please accept it. Oh Allah, we gave Sadaqah. We spent. Oh Allah, please accept it. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت سميع عليم.
Ameen.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen.
Ameen.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Now, brothers and sisters, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you go celebrate, have a good time. This is the Eid. You wanna celebrate all that you did for Allah. So I'm gonna let you go. But before I do, I wanna ask you a question. The month that we fasted, these 29 days, was it an end in itself, or was it a means to an end? Answer, both of them are correct. It's an end. You fasted, you're looking for reward for Allah. But it is also means to an end. And I want to ask the question, where do we go from here? The next time you go to an airport and you schedule to fly somewhere, I was yesterday in Richmond, Virginia, and I flew here, Orlando. Go to the airport, got your ticket, you get in the plane, and the plane sits on the runway. It doesn't go anywhere. And you sit in the runway on the plane for 3 hours. And when the 3 hours is over, the plane goes back to the terminal, you get out of the plane and you go about your business. You didn't go anywhere. The purpose of the plane was to take you to your destination. You didn't go anywhere if you're just sitting in the plane. Fasting is like that. Allah put it this way. يا أيها الذين آمنوا كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون.
الله أكبر.
لعلكم تتقون.
آمين.
Fasting is prescribed for you as it was prescribed for those who came before you, so that maybe, perhaps that you will gain God consciousness. That's what it's all about. If we fast for a whole month and then Ramadan is finished and then we go back to business as usual,
nothing.
We miss the point. So brothers and sisters, go out of this convention center feeling confident and bold. Go out in Orlando, go out in Florida, go back to New York, go to Detroit, go to Louisiana, go to Philadelphia, go to California, go back and do the work that Allah charged us to do. And what is that? Invite the people to the oneness of Allah. I want to warn you, that we as Muslims do not believe in the philosophy, the ends justify the means. For us as Muslims, the means that we employ must be as honorable as the end itself. Example, it is great to build a masjid, to build a synagogue, to build a church, a temple. That's good. But you cannot build a church, a synagogue, a mosque, a masjid, a temple by robbing a bank and using the money from the bank to build the masjid. No. You cannot build a masjid by selling dope, drugs. No. And this is why the Prophet, peace and blessing be upon him, said, "In the Allah Ta'ala, tayyibun la yaqbalu illa tayyiba." Allah is good and only accepts that which is good. One more. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
One more. How great it is to invite people to the oneness of Allah.
Allahu Akbar.
Isn't that wonderful? Don't you feel good when a person becomes a believer?
Allahu Akbar.
As good as it is to become a believer, to have someone become a believer, but the means that we employ to make them a believer must be itself, it must be right, it must be genuine, it must be respected and accepted by Allah. Can I give you an example? I'm almost finished. You guys can get up in one more minute. I'm almost finished. One more. Allah says to his Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam,
I'm just to give message.
لو شاء ربك لأمن من في الأرض كلهم جميعا. If Allah had willed, everybody on earth would have believed. أفكنت تكره الناس حتى يكونوا مؤمنين? Are you going to compel them until they believe? As bad as disbelief is in your eyes, that ain't your business, their faith, except you invite them to the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Give them the message only.
We cannot impose our will. The Prophet said, إِنَّمَا أَنَا بَشَرٌ إِنَّمَا أَنَا بَشَرٌ. I am only a human being. Every one of us are human beings. النَّاسُ كُلُّهُمْ بَنُو آدَمَ وَآدَمَ مِنْ تُرَابٍ. Mankind, all of them are the children of Adam. Every one of them are the children of Adam. And Adam was created from the dust. Adam was created from mud. Adam was created from the earth. And we are human beings. Everybody has a right to believe according to their faith. We can't compel them. We can't make them believe. Allah will not accept that if we make them believe. You missed the point. We're not angels. Look at the difference. فَسَجَدَ الْمَلَائِكَةُ كُلُّهُمْ أَجْمَعُونَ. And all the angels bow down to Adam. Can I ask you a question? Do you think there are a lot of angels in existence?
Of course.
How many?
Size
How
of
many?
size of the palms.
Let's give an example. During Laylatul Qadr, it is said, more angels descend on earth than there are pebbles in the earth.
Subhanallah.
And every angel bow down to Adam, no exception. Iblis, the jinn, refused, but every angel submitted. We are human beings, brothers and sisters, and we ask Allah the Almighty His forgiveness.
Ameen.
And we try to bring other human beings into this great fold of Islam.
Ameen Allah.
We ask Allah the Almighty, ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم.
Ameen.
ربنا لا تؤاخذنا إن نسينا أو أخطأنا ربنا ولا تحمل علينا إصرا كما حملته على الذين من قبلنا
آمين.
ربنا ولا تحملنا ما لا طاقة لنا به واعف عنا واغفر لنا وارحمنا وأنت مولانا فانصرنا على القوم الكافرين.
آمين.
May Allah bless you with a very happy Eid, you and your family. Assalamu Alikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Allahu Akbar. Takbir. Allahu Akbar. Allahu